Back with Bobby and JG Radio. We are now going to speak with Ashley Marsh. She's the marketing director of the Habitat for Humanity. She's originally from Maryland. She's been here in San Antonio for 3 years, and she's covers all their marketing for the entire organization. How are you doing today, Ashley?
Doing good, thank you.
So let's talk about what is Habitat for Humanity. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about what it really, really is.
Sure. Habitat, we are an ecumenical Christian nonprofit housing organization.
Say that one more time.
So we are an ecumenical Christian nonprofit housing organization.
Let me get my dictionary up.
Yeah.
So basically what we do is we build affordable homes for low-income families in San Antonio.
Wow. Okay, so when you say low-income families, is it geographic, or you guys really just do it for anyone that qualifies?
To qualify, well, there are Bexar County residents, our homeowners, and first-time home buyers. And low income, we categorize that by they are 25 to 70% of area median income, the entire household. So that averages about $22,000 per year.
And how long has Habitat for Humanity been around?
We have been around since 1976, so we are in our 39th year now. We were founded as the first distinguished affiliate to Habitat for Humanity International. So the very first Habitat home in the entire world was built right here in San Antonio.
And in these 39 years, how many houses have you built?
We just hit 897. So this year we have a goal to build 55 homes. So we'll be hitting that 900 mark. So we're really excited about that.
So when you guys were founded in 1976, it was Jimmy Carter was involved in that, correct?
He is our most recognized volunteer. He was not a part of the founding. It was actually founded by a woman in San Antonio named Faith Lytle. She was a pastor's wife and had heard of a similar program going on in Africa at the time, and recognizing a need for that in her own backyard, essentially, San Antonio, brought the program here. It kind of went from there, and we've branched out all over since then.
I don't think anyone really knows that Habitat's from San Antonio. That's actually the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah, the very first house is located off of the city's west side, Hidalgo Street, and that family still lives there today.
Is it Guarena? Is the last name Guarena?
No, it's the Torres family.
Okay. So how do you guys decide where you're going to build? Do you get gifted lots? Do you buy lots? How does this work?
We do receive land donations. We purchase land with grants and government funding. Right now, we're primarily building on the city's southwest side, so that's really where our focus is. We've got 2 communities that we'll be working on this year.
And how many volunteers are you working with each year?
Annually, about 15,000. So that sounds like a big number, but we really have a strong need. Right. It's about 30 volunteers that we put on a single house each day that we work on them.
30 volunteers a day?
A day for each house. And we've got a house leader that, kind of gets things going and, gets the tasks worked on that day.
How long does it take for these 30 volunteers to build a house?
So for a house to be built start to finish, we are looking at about 2 months worth of Friday and Saturday builds. We work on them a little bit through the week too, but mainly our volunteers come out on Fridays and Saturdays.
Weekends only, and they're knocking it out in 2 months.
In 2 months, yeah. We've come a long way. Our first house took about 2 years start to finish, just kind of getting materials where we could and when we could and the help that we could.
Sure.
And so we're a lot more streamlined since then.
2 months, that's better than most builders.
Builders nowadays, they say
4 to 6.
Yeah, we build 3 and 4 bedroom homes. So
yeah, so they're not just like little.
No, 3 and 4 bedrooms.
Yeah, that's kind of punking some of the builders out here in San Antonio.
We need to get it together.
Well, we need volunteers so they can come out and learn from us.
So let's talk about that a little bit. So the volunteer opportunities, what are the ones that are available?
So when it comes to helping out on the homes, the tasks really vary just based off of our build schedule. It could be anything from, day one of a build where you're physically hammering away and framing the walls for a home, painting, landscaping, inside touches, so a lot. We pretty much, when it comes to starting a community, the land and infrastructure, the streets, drainage, everything's put in place before volunteers come in, and then they help from there and actually get the house going.
So how much time would somebody have to give to volunteer?
So to volunteer a day on site, we ask that folks give an entire day. So we check in about 7:45 a.m. We're gone by 3:30. We do treat our folks, our volunteers, to lunch. So if they're out on site, we ask them to do a full day. We do have where, through lunch donations, where they just donate a couple of hours to come actually serve food and prepare food for our volunteers. That's just a couple of hours. And then, there's ways to volunteer in our home centers and then also through our Joshua builds, which take less time.
So as far as volunteering, do you have to be like a Bob Vila handyman, jack of all trades?
Tim Allen, more like it. Allen. No experience necessary.
I just showed my age if I said Bob Vila. Yeah.
No experience necessary. As I mentioned, we do have a house leader on each house, so we'll have all the tools and supplies that you need to get started and somebody to instruct you along the way. So it's actually a really cool opportunity for folks that, maybe want to learn a little bit more about basic home repair, home remodeling, DIY
I'd rather
projects.
Take a hammer on your home before mine, I guess.
Yeah, you'll learn a lot. You really will.
You don't own a hammer.
That's true. I actually don't own a hammer.
He was hammering with the stapler the other day.
Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah, the back of it. I saw you doing it.
So skip Pinterest and the YouTube videos and come out and learn on site.
Gotcha.
So can you tell us some of these groups that you partner with?
Sure. Really, it's anyone from the community. So we have a lot of individuals that come out. When it comes to volunteering, 14 and up are welcome on site. They can physically help build homes. Mm-hmm. Group-wise, everything from corporations to faith groups, civics, high schools and colleges. We have a lot of people even come from out of town. Spring breakers will come in and help. So pretty much if you've got the hands and the heart, we'll put you to work.
If you're just joining us, we're speaking with Ashley Marsh. She's the marketing director of Habitat for Humanity. She's telling us all the ins and outs of building a home with HabitatSA.org, and that is actually their website, which is HabitatSA.org. She can be reached at volunteer@HabitatSA.org, or you can call at 210-223-5203. Again, that's 210-223-5203. So what if a business wants to get their employees involved? Do you guys have like a day out for like a group? Like, let's say, for instance, Keller Williams Realty, we do this yearly thing called Red Day. It's always in May, always on my birthday. It's terrible. But just because of that one thing. But we go out to the community. We've built, what have we done? We built houses. We redid the playgrounds at Boysville. We've literally just revamped people's homes that are existing. We've built from the ground up. And we're a huge, dominant, real estate, force here in San Antonio. I think out of the 7,000 agents, we have 3,000. Wow. So, how can an office or a company help out like that?
So we can help you. Our volunteer coordinators can organize your group to come out on site. We can do all the planning and make it pretty low maintenance on your end, just kind of getting folks out there. Option 2, because it is sometimes difficult for folks to round up the troops, so to speak, and give up an entire day. So we also have a program called our Joshua Build, where essentially we bring all of the tools and materials, the job site to you. So when that happens, we essentially rope off an area of the parking lot, set up shop, we get our stations going, you guys come into the parking lot, and in about 4 hours you can have all of the walls necessary for an entire Habitat home.
And then you take it, from there?
And then we package them up and bundle them and take them back to the site and store them in our warehouse until it's time to use them.
So you're pretty much pre-framing a parking.
You're framing an entire house in 4 hours, which is awesome. And then it's a great visual for a lot of businesses too, because we are, we're large numbers and we're in your parking lot, so that's really great. And then of course the team building, and it's not a time suck. It doesn't take away too much of your day. So
right. And so how can our Bobby and JJ radio show listeners just figure out how to get involved either by groups or individually? Where should they go and what should they do?
Visit our website, first and foremost, HabitatSA.org. From there, we do have a lot of volunteer information, so you can learn more about signing up, who to get in touch with, which would be our volunteer coordinator. You can learn about lunch donations. If that's something, it could be, an area restaurant that maybe wants to get involved and donate some lunch. We can work with you on that, whether it's Joshua Builds, sponsorships, or, coming out to our site.
So if somebody wants to volunteer but they can't give up time, can they give up materials or money or anything?
Donations will gladly take your money, as we've already mentioned that. Aside from that, you can always shop in our home centers, donate materials to our home centers. The home centers are great. We have 3 in San Antonio. The proceeds from those sales cover our administrative costs, so 100% of every cash donation goes directly to building homes.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Ashley, for stopping by. We appreciate
Thank you.
If anyone missed any part of this show, they can go to bobbyandjjradio.com. They can be a fan of our show by going through our Facebook page, which, of course, is Bobby and JJ Radio. We're also on SoundCloud on Mondays, right after our Sunday at 10 a.m. Show every week here on KLUP, The Answer. We will see you next week. This is Bobby and JJ Radio. Bye.